to actually feed our organs. So think about what you're eating and have you fed your organs today? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Becky. Looks like we've got a couple more minutes for some Q&A as people have been writing in throughout the webinar. So you mentioned earlier that you're not a big fan of recommending grains. What do you think about whole grains such as brown rice or quinoa?
Well, I'm not necessarily fond of brown rice. Quinoa is pretty healthy for you, but again, it will break down to sugar. But if you're going to look at, what's healthy, your quinoa is pretty healthy. Your still cut cooked oatmeal is healthy as well. Barley is another healthy one. So barley, quinoa, still cut oats. But if you're trying to lose weight and you're eating oatmeal every morning, that's not really going to help you with weight loss. And oatmeal is going to break down to carbs and sugars. So I would, if you're trying to lose weight, I would get rid of those extra carbs and sugars, and I would consume what we need just for our health, which are lean proteins and fruits and vegetables. But if you want to know, is it healthy? Quinoa is a healthier grain. So is barley. So is still cut oats.
Thank you. There's been that rule that talk if you don't eat after 8 o'clock, you'll do that much better with losing weight. Is there any truth to that?
I guess it just depends. I mean, if you were eating, 500 calories after 8 o'clock and you cut out 500 calories, I mean, you're going to lose weight that way. There probably is some truth to, just because you're going to cut out your calories, whatever you're consuming. So there probably is some truth to that. I really make it simple. I mean, if you just have lean proteins and fruits and vegetables, you should be okay. If you limit yourself to 4 fruits and all the non-starchy vegetables, I mean, if you wanted to snack on broccoli, cauliflower, green beans, or red, green, yellow bell peppers at 8 o'clock at night, I mean, that's not going to add a ton of weight to you.
Are organic foods, drinks, products actually healthier than non-organic? How do they stack up?
Yeah, I think organic's very healthy for you. I mean, the more organic we can get, you get rid of pesticides and a bunch of the other, extra chemicals that are on there. So yes, I think organic is healthier for you. But that's not the problem in America. Is the more problem in America is eating carbs and sugars and the obesity and all that. But if we want to get in more detail, yeah, if you can buy organic, I think it's better for you.
In your opinion, why is it harder to lose weight as we get older?
Some of it is our metabolism slows because we're not, one, as active. Two, we are more routine as we get older too. So like when we're kids, one day we might have, a sporting event. The next day it might be a practice. The next day, it might be a vacation where you're in the car. So as kids and as we, are younger, it seems like we have less of a routine and it fools our system. But when we get a routine every day, we eat the same thing, we do the same routine, our metabolism slows down because it's not fooled. It knows what to expect. Whereas when we're kids, the metabolism is a little bit higher because we are doing different things. We might all, do a sprint one day and the next day, we might not. So some of it is our activity level. Some of it is also what we eat. When we eat things that make us tired, our activity level goes down. So if we load ourselves with carbs all day, we're exhausted when we come home from work, and after we eat more carbs, we lay on the couch and we're not as active. So we just need to get our activity up and do things and eat foods that give us energy and speed our metabolism.
Can you talk a little bit about cheese and wine? Wine has antioxidants in it, but as far as a wine and cheese night, what are your thoughts?
An ounce of cheese a day is not going to hurt you. The problem is when we get into eating half a brick, that starts to be a problem. So we really need to watch how much cheese that we have. It is a saturated fat. It's not a healthy fat. But can you have an ounce of cheese a day? Sure. Can you snack on one of those 2% cheese, cheese sticks? Yeah, it's pretty much it's a healthier, snack. But again, you don't want to go have 4 or 5 of those or eat half of a brick. Wine and any alcohol for that matter. It's Dr. O'Keefe, wrote this great paper called Alcohol, the Double-Edged Sword. And it is a double-edged sword because If you drink too much of it, it raises your blood pressure, increases your risk for stroke, and increases your risk for heart disease. If you don't drink any, you're also at increased risk. Now, if you have any alcoholic tendencies or addiction tendencies, then you're best not to have any. But for optimal health, for women, no more than, 1 glass a day, and for men, no more than 2 glasses a day. And as I say that, some people are probably thinking, I'll save all of my glasses till Friday. So you can't have all 7 glasses on Friday, because that would be what we call binge drinking, and that also increases your risk for stroke and abnormal health issues. So we definitely want to limit the amount of alcohol and limit the amount of cheese. Again, it's everything in moderation. So if you're going for a cheese and wine night, I'd add some vegetables in with the cheese as well.
How does hormonal imbalance affect weight loss?
Hormonal imbalance, I think that can affect everything in your body. I would have to know, I guess, a little bit more specifics. And like if your thyroid is not functioning, that's going to have problems with your weight loss, most definitely. So definitely have your thyroid checked. And if you're going through hormones and you don't, you have hot flashes, or you don't feel like exercising, or there's other things going on, that can affect it. But it's really simple. I mean, weight loss is the amount of calories in versus the amount of calories out. And what I'm trying to teach you is not about counting calories, because, if you did a point plan like some of these weight loss programs do, you can still eat chocolate chip cookies and all the bad stuff and eat bad all day long as you don't go over your points. What I'm trying to teach you is to eat for your health. So not only will you lose weight, but you'll feed your organs, you'll help everything, and probably even help some of your hormonal imbalances just by eating healthy. And in fact, this is an excellent point to that. Dr. Terry Wall, Terry and Wahl, she's got a TED Talk that's out there, and it talks about how she was basically in a chair, and she was a physician, and she'd gone to some of the largest clinics. They couldn't find out what was wrong with her, and she changed her diet, and she is back to riding horses and cycling and doing everything again when she had to give up her practice and everything before. But it was the diet that changed her. So when we think about, our metabolism and our hormones and everything else, we really got to think about what are we feeding our body? Why is everything going, in such a different direction than what we're genetically designed for it to?
Do you have any recommendations outside of the ones you've already made for ways to help type 2 diabetics and how to get off insulin shots?
So what happens when we've got diabetes is that we have beta cells in our pancreas that secretes insulin. And the beta cells in our pancreas that secrete insulin, that controls our sugar. If those beta cells become flogged over a long period of time, they'll eventually die off, and we don't get those beta cells back. So, and that's why we then need insulin. So I'm not for sure how much insulin we're talking about that someone's taking. If you're taking a lot of insulin, we probably can reduce the amount. I'm not sure we could get you off of that. Most type 2 diabetics, not all, but most, is because we let ourselves go. And we had all these carbs and sugars, and we weren't educated on, or no one told us, or we were raised, eating the wrong things. A large part of diabetes is, again, lean proteins and fruits and vegetables, and it definitely is going to lower your blood sugar, and whatever beta cells that you have left, hopefully can control that. I'm not for sure, how long you've been on insulin and kind of how much you're taking, but the best bet to try to get off of it is to do lean proteins and fruits and vegetables. Now, as I say that, as you are losing weight and changing your diet, you're going to have to work with your endocrinologist or your physician or nurse practitioner or provider who's giving you the insulin, because your sugar levels are going to be lower and you're going to have to adjust it. But I do not want us to have to eat carbs and sugars to feed our insulin or to feed our medicine. I want to adjust the insulin or the medicine based upon what you eat. Because the diet and the recommendations I'm giving you is a lifestyle for health, and it doesn't really matter kind of if you've got diabetes or not diabetes. This is just what everybody should have. I can continue to talk a little bit about diet. Are you ready? Okay.
Okay. One more question. Sources of good fiber. If you can't have bread as a source of fiber, what would you recommend for healthy fiber choices?
So that's even kind of a little bit of a myth. We think bread's loaded with fiber. You get more fiber in fruits and vegetables. So tons of vegetables. The more vegetables you need, the more fiber. If you need to have like a scoop of Metamucil, you know, and some water or whatever during the day, I guess you can have that. But again, you get plenty of fiber in fruits and vegetables. We have just gotten so far away from eating vegetables and fruits that our fiber in our roughage is down, and we only think of bread as fiber. But no, you get, if you would substitute that bread for, for a cup of vegetables or 2 cups of vegetables, you're going to get plenty of fiber.
All right, Becky, thank you very much for your participation. I think everyone had a great time and enjoyed hearing all the healthy tips. Shortly, an email will be sent out with a webinar recording and a free test with a lot of instructions on